I've seen an epidemic this year of people on both social and broadcast media advertising their intention not to bother voting. Some people appear proud of the fact, like they expect a pat on the back, and some are even actively encouraging others not to show up on polling day. Now, I get it. People are disgusted with politics and politicians. I am too. I get it that people have lost faith that they can make a difference with their single vote. I get it that there are no ideal options on the ballot. We live in a time of unprecedented self-indulgence, when people expect instant gratification and have no patience for playing a long game. But here's the bottom line. Significant change almost always takes a long time, and it is always accomplished by flawed politicians, imperfect people. So are you disgusted with Boris and Jeremy? Well, guess what? No election in the history of history has had a perfect candidate or party on the ballot. Never. In an ideal world, we could have perfect people running for office, but that's not the world we live in. Never has been. That's no reason to throw up your hands in disgust and casually discard your most important right, your most sacred obligation to your family and to your community. So the next time you hear someone justifying their intention not to vote by saying, oh, politicians are all the same, it doesn't matter who you vote for, nothing ever changes, please remind them of what should be obvious to them. Do you think the schools desegregated themselves? Do you think that the creation of a minimum wage happened by magic? Do you think women got the right to vote by random chance? Do you think child labor was outlawed because big business grew a conscience? Even with our imperfect politicians and our slow-moving political change, in the long game, about which we should all be mindful, it does work. Every election moves our society in one direction or another, even if only by small steps. Changes that protect our rights against powerful interests only arise when people come together and vote for politicians who will move that issue forward, even if only a bit at a time. It takes all of us fulfilling our civic responsibility to get up off of our asses on election day and show up for change to happen. It is a long game, and you can't win if you don't play. So I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Instagram, political change won't arrive in your inbox overnight, but future generations will thank you for doing your part, for not being a waste of space in our shared democracy, for showing up when it counted. The vote is a sacred thing. It's the one mechanism we all have to change the society we live in. It's the one button we've got on our dashboard. So many thousands of young people have lost their lives protecting our ability to cast our vote. So it seems to me, at the very least, we owe it to them to do our part. This tiny act that can shape the world for our children and our nieces and nephews and their children. Failing to do that should be a source of shame. No one should get a pat on the back for failing to show up. Tomorrow's election day here in the UK. You can vote for whomever you wish. If you don't want to vote for Boris or Jeremy and their respective clown car parties, you can write in whatever candidate you want. But you need to show up. I'll see you there.